What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Hardworking Happy Hour. I'm Sean.
And I'm Catherine, and as always, we'll be breaking down all things trades, entrepreneurship, and turning your creativity into a passion career. Well, Sean, another week, another episode of the Hardworking Happy Hour. How you doing?
God, I'm doing excellent, and, this is really the only thing that gives me any sense of time.
Okay.
A week has passed.
Yeah.
It's not how many weeks of the year, how many Hardworking Happy Hours left until Christmas, That's how I gauge everything now. So that would be like a very American thing to do, like, especially in measurements. You know how, like, growing up in school, like, nothing was ever like, this is this big. It's like, this is a blue whale is like 6 school buses next to each other.
Yeah, or bread boxes.
Bread boxes?
Yeah, they were always measuring stuff in bread boxes.
I honestly...
You don't remember that?
No, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. I feel like, is a bread box a standard measurement?
It used to be. I feel like they don't even... I mean, I feel like even back then, we were like, what's a bread box? But...
Another confession, I have a bread box. We have a bread box on our counter. They're coming back.
Then why are you asking me about it? Sounds like you're
I
an
never
expert.
heard anyone measure anything in bread boxes, what I'm saying. Everything was always in school buses. School buses was the only form of measurement when I was in elementary school.
Well, how did you measure small stuff?
It's like 1/100th of a school bus. That's the only form of measurement that we learned up until high school. Then I was introduced to the imperial system of inches and feet. So
interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, open your mind to bread box measurement. I don't know.
Okay.
Try it out.
It's very American. It really is.
It is very American.
Oh, okay. All right. Speaking of American.
Okay.
I'm not sure if I'm supposed to talk about this yet, but we did some filming today for something
secret project.
Something that's really cool, and something I think it's gonna be. We'll talk about it when the time comes. I don't even know if I'm supposed to talk about it or not talk about it, but anyway, one of the two of the people filming this thing were from London, right?
Okay.
Somehow, don't know how we got onto the topic, but this man had no clue what truck nuts were. He's like, "What do you mean truck nuts? They're nuts that hang off of the back of a pickup truck." He's like,
the
"What?"
most American thing you could have introduced him to.
I know. Apparently, he's been living here for like 12, 13 years, and he doesn't know about truck nuts.
My goodness.
So
he
I
must be
did.
living under a rock.
Yeah, I did. Well, he lives in Brooklyn. Well, probably not a lot of truck nuts in
Probably
Brooklyn.
Not. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, I did show him a picture, and the picture I found, they were actually flesh colored, which I've never seen in the wild. I feel like they're always red for some reason.
Yeah, I feel like I've seen like red or blue or green.
Yeah. Primary colors.
Yeah.
Interesting. Anyway, yeah, so truck nuts. What could be possibly more American than that?
Did he order a pair on site?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good.
By the time we left, he was wearing them on himself, and I said, No, it needs to go on your vehicle. Sir, it needs to go on your vehicle. This is just making you look like you have giant nuts hanging out. You can get arrested for that, sir. Anyway, moving on. We're already getting off track, but this week we're gonna be giving you a little bit of an update on something we talked about a couple weeks ago, which was revisiting our initial client interactions and how that whole process works. And I had a huge part in that conversation. I had a very, very small part in any of the execution up to this point. So Catherine will kind of brief you on what she has come up with, which is excellent, and it really feels like a move in the right direction. And we talked about it, we executed on a lot of the things, and I'm going to continue to say we, even though
it's a team effort. Yeah, for sure.
Team effort. I was sort of there some of the time that I guess you were working on that. I don't know. You showed it to me and I said, this is awesome. Yeah. This is what we talked about. This is what we planned together. So we'll talk about that. And then we'll also talk about some change order talk, because I've been thinking about it a lot lately. It's something that has come up lately on our current job. We talked about the paver changes that we had to do on this current project, among other things that always come up. And it got me thinking about that balance that you have to strike with getting fairly compensated for change orders and also avoiding the feeling of nickel and diming the client because they're already paying a lot and you don't want to feel like, you're taking advantage of them. So you got to find that middle ground. So I want to talk about that as well. So, Catherine, what do you got? What do you got going on? You got anything else you want to
Yeah.
get off your chest?
Like before we get into all our new fun things, or
Yeah, whatever. Whatever you want. It's up to you.
well, I do want to give you kudos because we always talk about how when we move from one job to the other, you get very stressed out. I feel like that
Really?
didn't happen this job. I feel like
Really?
yeah, I feel like you've been
Hiding it
pretty.
well. All right, nice. Great.
If you're hiding it, you've been hiding it well, and I think that
Beautiful.
that's growth. So I just wanted to acknowledge that.
Thank you so
Congratulations.
much. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Yeah,
No, I
no
have been a
problem.
little bit less stressed than usual because I think, we've been on top of a lot of things and it's going fairly well. There's a lot of room for improvement, obviously, but everything's going well, and we're just kind of knocking out one thing at a time and moving to the next. So that part is going really well, and I wanted to give you kudos for
Who, me?
yeah, heck yeah. So I guess about last week, you basically were like, everything we're doing sucks. We're idiots. This is horrible. Our content is garbage. It's dog crap. No, I think you pointed out that maybe I think we were getting a little too comfortable, getting a little
Yes.
too we were focused on other things, and we were not keeping it as top of mind as we typically do. So you brought that to my attention, called me out, and said you're covering everything up with AI. I know you're obsessed with this because you get these hyperfixations, which I still
Mhm.
don't. Still resent that, but
But it is the truth.
it might be the truth. I don't know. But you called it out and you said, you know, we gotta reprioritize this. And we came up with a plan to do that. And we said, you know what? Hey, every day, every morning, we just go over, hey, what are we doing today? What kind of creative idea we can come up with? And it's absolutely worked. It's absolutely worked. The video we posted yesterday's got like 5 million views across platforms right now. And it's also been fun. It's also been fun. So
It has been fun.
the thing that really stuck out to me that you said was, when's the last time we made a clip that you were like, I'm super proud of this. This is so good. This is awesome. I can't wait to post this. And I was like, we make, I think a lot of good clips and a lot of cool stuff and all that kind of stuff. But you were right. I hadn't felt like, oh wow, this is like a really creative way to show this, or this really is an awesome trick that somebody can implement. And we refocused our attention on it, and we're executing on it, and it's turning out really well. So great
Yeah.
job.
Yeah.
Thank you for
Thanks.
calling me an idiot. I appreciate that. I really do.
Yeah. I appreciate you being receptive to my feedback because sometimes I say things very bluntly and forcefully. And I would say it's something that I'm trying to work on, but honestly, I'm not.
Yeah,
I feel like it's pretty effective. And yeah, I'm glad that
it
that
is.
was met with change and we did better.
It is. It's an effective form of communication because initially I will reject it and I will say, whoa, 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 hey, come on, stop it. But then you keep beating me down until I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, maybe there's something here. Maybe there's something here, and
Yeah.
and it works. It
Yeah.
works. So know
Even
your
the plumber
communication
yesterday was
styles.
even the plumber yesterday was like, I like her. She says it how it is. I was like, yeah.
And you said something like so mild, like,
I said you look disheveled because you did.
yeah, I did.
We were
I
about to
did
film. We were about to film something, or go. We were about to have a meet.
a video call.
Yeah, video call, and you looked
Yeah,
very. You just got done working, so it's not like you know.
it's
It's
not
not
like
like
I
you
came off of a bender.
right.
Yeah,
I could have said it nicely and been like, "Hey, maybe you want to clean up a little bit before this call," but I didn't. And then the plumber heard it. It was pretty funny.
yeah. Well, I appreciate that.
Anywho,
I work well with that type of feedback, so I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
yeah,
So hey, kudos all around us. Look at us.
good job. Check us out.
Look at us. We're just
I think this is
making
what everyone
moves.
tuned in to hear is us tooting our own horns. So I think we're doing a great job.
I agree. I agree. I agree. You know what? Nobody else is tooting it, Another interesting American thing, because I was with these London people today.
How often did you do the accent?
Only once. Only once, I swear to God.
I find that so hard to
No, I
believe.
swear to God, and it was the last thing I said before I left. I said, "Cheers." Hey,
That's like Australian.
that is the same thing as London. Stop with that. You always say that. You sound Australian. No, it's the same thing. Cheers.
Oh,
Cheers, mate. It
all right.
sounds almost the same. He
Finish your
got it.
story. Finish.
All
Okay,
right.
finish your
Anyway,
story.
somebody was like that had also just met them were like, I don't know, they said something like, "Oh, you're doing a great job." And then they're like, "Do you fall under that British stereotype where you really don't like to hear compliments about yourself?" And he was like, "Yeah, yeah, I we really don't like that." Was that good?
No, but keep
Okay.
going.
And I was like, "Well, in America, we're definitely not shy about that. We just come out and brag about ourselves. Like, yeah, we're the best." Yep, that's right. And he said, "Oh, really? I hadn't noticed." I said, "I like this guy. This guy is cool. This guy's cool. He gets me. This guy gets me." So anyway, America, America's beautiful.
Say,
Can
can you?
you see?
All right.
I didn't know that we were gonna break into that, and I also want to get something else out there, and I feel like I might have gotten this off my chest maybe even last week, but I feel the need to do it again.
Okay.
I cannot stand when people say, "Didn't have that on my bingo card." Have I mentioned that before? How
No,
much I hate that? I hate that.
I don't get what you're saying.
Like, when something unexpected happens, like I could have said right there, "Well, I didn't have us singing the national anthem on the podcast this week on my bingo card."
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah.
I hate when people say that. Didn't have that on my bingo card this year. Shut
Huh?
up. Life is not a game of bingo. It's a game of life or death. I hate that. I hate that. I
Does
don't know
that come
why.
up often for you?
I feel like, you'll be more attentive to it now and you're going to hear
Yeah,
people say
maybe
it
I'll
like on the
notice it.
radio or something like, "Didn't have that on my bingo card." I
Mm.
cannot stand that. That is the problem with the world today.
It's the root of all of our problems.
It,
Everyone
it might
should
be.
stop using that.
Yeah. More like Bing stop, not bingo.
That's how I feel about the word woke. I'm so ready for that to die. I cannot. It is completely meaningless. I hate it. Stop
Yeah.
saying it.
Yeah. Anyway.
I don't
All
like
right.
it. Anyway,
All right, we got a lot off our chests already this episode. So let's get into our new. Why don't you give us a rundown of what our new
okay.
client interaction platform looks like?
Yeah. All right. So this was on the heels of Sean's AI integration into our whole life. He wanted it. He wanted no people to be involved until we showed up at your house the first day. But anyway, so we thought, how could we improve our? We still do a lot of screening before a client actually gets in touch with us. But once they do get into our little sales funnel, we kind of just wanted to appear more like a high-end company. We wanted the people to feel like they were getting a high-end experience because that's what we are, a high-end company. So, we worked together as a team of what that was going to look like and at what point we can what?
Thank you for including me in this. I really didn't do much about this,
Well,
but
we did.
I
Yeah.
thank you so much.
We discussed as a team at least. I may have executed, but we did discuss as a team. We thought like we thought people might need more information or maybe like a nudge or just an extra a nice little touch, to the client. So what we decided as a whole was this is our process. A client reaches out to us. They say, "Hey, I want a backyard. I'm in your area. I want my whole backyard done. I follow you on YouTube. I love your stuff. What do we do?" Then I email them back. I'm still a human at this point. As a human, I email them back and I say, "Thank you so much for reaching out." And then I give them Sean's brand new to us, calendar scheduling app. So they can pick their own time. I don't have to be involved anymore. They get directly to Sean with his calendar and they get on there. They'll still have to send pictures like they always had, but they get on Sean's calendar. And as soon as that calendar invite is confirmed, they will now get a nice little PDF file, about what they can expect on this consultation call and what they can prepare and what we will need from them and what information they'll need to give us and all of those good things. I made it look really nice. It's pretty. They've got some good pictures to get them excited and they're going to look at that and think, "Wow, I'm so excited to talk to Sean." And it's pretty cool the designer, the owner of the company, all the same guy. I get to talk to the top dog. That's pretty cool. So they're excited. So then the time comes, and now we have switched from phone consultations to video calls, which I think will be good for us. I think that you're good at talking to people on the phone, but a face-to-face interaction is always better. And then you have the option to like share your screen if you're talking about something specific. You can, hey, this is why heaters and grills are an upcharge, and look at this is what we order, and this is you can now show them during these video calls depending on how in depth you want to get. So then after you have this consultation call, the client's so excited. They love it. They're ready to go. They say, "Hey, I'm going to talk to my spouse about the next steps, etc." 2 hours, 1 hour after their consultation call, they will now get a second email that details all of the next steps. So that will have been gone over in the call, but it's a lot of information. Those people get a lot all at once. They might get confused. They might forget something. They might have not heard something correctly. So now after that, they get another document that is saying all of the next steps, just giving another blurb about thank you for the inquiry. They're going to get all these next steps. They get who to contact. They get Sean. Now, they didn't have Sean's phone number up until this point. Now they have your phone number. And if they want to go forward with the design, they have the payment information and all that kind of stuff and what will then happen. So once they pay, they go through the design consultation phase. Sean gets them a design that they love. We will be revamping the actual packet of that as well, like the
Presentation of
what
the
do we call
design
that?
build
Yeah.
estimate.
Yeah, there you go. We're going to revamp that as well. So that'll look nice, and all of this stuff will match each other. And then once they finally sign the contract and they say, I am so excited, I can't wait to start building with you guys, we will now be giving them a client packet where we give them all of our information, everything that they can expect. Why are we filming on their job site? Why are we making a mess in their lawn? When your timeline is, all that kind of stuff and it's going to be delivered to them with all of the information that they can need so they can just sit there and be excited about what we're going to do for them and their family.
Yeah.
So, in conclusion, that's our new process.
Yes. Very, very, you know what? I knew that it was a lot of stuff that we'd revamp, but now that you just went through the whole thing, that's a lot of work that we accomplished as a team together. That was just a complete, this actually, you know what? This is bringing back a lot of feelings for me.
Reminiscing about how hard you worked on this?
Yes, and it's feeling a lot like every group project I was ever a part of in any form of school. Sorry to everybody that was in my group at any point. I do apologize
You
for
were
that.
that kid. Yeah, I could see that.
But yeah, and the thing that I like, I mean, I like all of it, but the client welcome packet, that will be an actual tactile packet that gets sent to them, maybe even hand delivered.
It's going to be hand delivered.
Maybe even delivered by carrier pigeons.
Oh, we could get some pigeons. That'd be fun.
That will dance. Or a singing telegram.
That could be fun.
Yeah, that could also be a little scary and creepy.
We're also going to give them some swag too, but TBD on that. We haven't picked that out yet, but we'll get there. But it's going to be like
you brought up a good point where it's like kind of a slippery, weird area where you try to guess someone's size.
Yeah, we're not
send them something. I think if we do go that route, we just send them one of every size and say one for every occasion.
You know what I was thinking though, because we were discussing what to bring, and you said t-shirts, and I was like, that would be great. However, we're not guessing anybody's size, but we should give them like a nice blanket, like a nice blanket that they can now enjoy their outdoor space with. I thought about that the other day. I thought
That's a great idea.
I really want it to be something that they take out of their home, so then it's kind of like a talking point when somebody sees our logo. But also for functionality's sake, I feel like a nice little blanket that they can then keep on their new outdoor space. That's kind of a good idea. So
that's a great idea. Idea. I didn't, you know what? I didn't have getting a premier blanket on my bingo card this year, but our clients will. It'll be on their bingo card. God, that's the worst. It's the worst.
Has anybody said it to you, or you're just hearing it?
No.
Okay, all right. It's not like a conversation thing. It's just like a zeitgeist thing.
Somebody may have said it to me once in my life. I don't know. I can't think of any. I would not like that. I would not like it. I feel like I hear it on the radio or I don't know, on TV or something. I don't know. You just hear it places, and I don't like it. I
Yeah,
don't
I feel
like
like
it.
I've
It
only ever
annoys
seen
me.
it on social media, but not in a conversation for real.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And hopefully it stays that way. Dear God, hopefully it stays that way. So I think what this process does is, I was trying to, in my hyperfixation mania around AI, I was trying to automate every single step of the process. And I think we found a nice middle ground of automating some of it, still having a personal touch with filtering people initially, and
Yeah.
then kind of gatekeeping that calendar so that
Yeah.
not anyone can just go on our website and, set up an appointment, because I feel like that would be problematic. So we make sure that they are going to be, you know, they have all the signs of a good client fit for us. Then they get access to the calendar to book an appointment. And then really just following up with not only making us look very professional and on the ball, setting the stage and letting them get prepared for it. Because I go over all these things on the call, but it's a lot more beneficial, I think, if they can understand what the call is going to be about, how it's going to go, what the process looks like, and start thinking about some of the things that we lay out here. Like, when you're thinking about what you want this space to be, don't necessarily think about, I want it this size or that. Like, talk about it in terms of functionality. Like, we want a place to sit and watch TV under a roof, or we want a fire pit out in the yard where we can roast marshmallows and do s'mores. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yep. Yep.
And I just think that it's gonna be very helpful for both parties. I think it makes us look very professional, has some inspirational pictures on there, which makes it look cool.
Hmm.
And then also the follow-up after the call. What's next? Because also, like you said, I go over all of that in the call. All right, next step, and I'm never, pushy on the sale of the design. One client also once said, "I'm in sales, and I'll tell you what, you're killing it with the soft close." He got the soft close. It's almost like, "Hey, whenever you get back to me, I'm not even gonna reach out to you ever again unless you reach out to me. Just, if you got any questions, let me know, but I'm not gonna bother you." So I'm always very, "Hey, I gave you a lot of information. I don't expect or necessarily even want you to say, 'Yes, absolutely, I wanna do a design right now.' Think about it. I want you to, like, really, know what it's gonna cost, know what the process is gonna look like, think about it, and make sure that you're completely ready to dive into this." And all of that can be a lot of information over the phone to remember. Oh, what's going to be the next step? Like, how does it work? Were all the revisions included? What's the turnaround time? All of that. It's going to automatically get sent to them. So they have all that information. Again, it makes us look very professional and on the ball, keeps them excited, separates us from the competition. And I just think all around it makes it a much better, clearer experience for the client and ultimately for us as well. So the other thing, integration with AI, doing it as a video call. We have some tools at our disposal, AI note takers that we use in some of our other Zoom calls that work great. They work amazingly well.
Do they?
They do, I swear.
Did you
Trust me.
check?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, it summarizes the whole meeting, has
Okay.
like takeaways, key takeaways, next steps, action items. Like, it really does a great job. And then it also creates a full transcript of the entire conversation. So if the generative AI doesn't put it together in a way that really makes sense, you can always go back and look at the transcript. So it's a really, really great way to do that. Normally I just sit there and jot down notes. Sometimes those notes I'll look back at a couple days later and I'm like, okay, I wrote fire pit. Did they want a fire pit, or did they definitely not want a fire pit? And sometimes I forget little details like that. That sounds like a big detail, but just little things. Usually I remember most of the stuff and I have notes that I can follow along with, and usually I'm pretty good, but I think this is going to eliminate a lot of that, and I can be completely engaged and not even have to worry about taking notes.
Yeah.
So,
I think it's a good balance between what I initially, my initial hesitations and all of your wants. I think that this is a good. It still keeps a little bit of a human aspect in it, because my whole thought goes to the, like, when you try and call your doctor and that you're just in this like cycle of never ending like phone loops that you never ever get to a real person. And I was like, that's just, I feel like when you're contacting a company that's going to be at your house Like, you just want to have, like, some sort of human interaction instead of just being in some sort of AI funnel. So I think that
Yeah.
this is we've struck a good balance between what you wanted of, like, complete automation and what I wanted, which is, like, remaining human touches at some point. So I think that we got a good balance here. I'm happy with our new process. We worked together as a team to get it done, and I think we're both happy with it. And I am still hesitant about the AI thing because I hate to bring it up, but yesterday
Come on,
we had a
really?
phone call. We had a phone call, and I was like, I was prompted on my end because I knew, and I'm just sitting there waiting. And Sean's got his AI scheduling thing, and he's so excited about it, and that's wonderful. But I was just waiting. I was like, did he get prompted about this meeting? Is he gonna remember it? Is he gonna? And then we got like 5 minutes out, and I was like, we have a call in 5 minutes. And Sean was like, yeah, I definitely knew that. But the AI did not
I don't know
prompt
what
you.
happened there. I
And it
don't know what
wasn't on your
happened there.
calendar, so,
I don't know what happened there
you still need
because
some human nudges. I'm still hesitant about the whole AI thing, and I keep being validated.
that I'm not sure what happened there. I don't know what happened there. That's never happened before because if I get any type of calendar like request, like a meeting request, Zoom meeting, Teams meeting in my Gmail, you hit yes on that invite, it automatically adds it to my calendar. And it was in my calendar. I looked at my calendar and it was in there and it even said notification 30 minutes before,
Yeah.
but I did not get a notification. And I even looked, I had gotten other notifications from Google Calendar that day because you were playing around with Calendly. So I had like 7 meetings with Catherine Lippincott in one day as your little test thing that you were doing. So maybe it got confused. It was like, I don't know what the hell's going on here. He's got 7 meetings with Catherine Lippincott. It doesn't seem like he's gone to any of them. None of this is real. I can't live in this world. But just nothing is real.
Nothing is real. All right.
Anyway.
You got any final closing thoughts on this? Because I got a segment coming up.
I do. I do. I have some final thoughts, and my only final thoughts are, Catherine, phenomenal job. Phenomenal job running with it. I didn't even know you were working on it. You started with the client welcome packet. You showed it to me when it was basically done. Absolutely phenomenal work. Knocked it out of the park.
I do appreciate that.
Now we just need to find some clients to send it to.
I know. Right? All right. Well, Sean?
Yes?
I hope you're I hope your body's made of ice because you're about to be in the hot seat.
That would be like the worst thing to be made out of. Then I would melt.
Well, all right. I hope you got air conditioning on because you're about to be in the hot seat. What? What's the matter?
I want to look outside so bad. There must have been a plane flying so low. It just shook the whole shop.
Should I check on the app? Should I check on the app?
Can you do that quick?
Yeah, of course I can.
Where I'm at?
Yeah.
It must have been flying so low.
Tabernacle?
Yeah.
All right.
That was crazy. What is it? What is it?
There's nothing.
It's
not on the radar. It's not on the radar.
Oh, no.
What do you got? What do you got over there?
I don't know. It was so low. It shook. It shook me to my core. Was that part of the hot seat segment?
Yeah. That was the prep. You got nothing.
It took everything in my being to not get up out of this seat and look out the window.
I really wish you had now, because now I want to know what it is.
I know.
And just for anyone listening, anytime Sean hears a plane or a helicopter, he has to see it in the sky before he can move on. He always gets distracted by it. I also obsessed with aviation in a different way. I have this app that I check 1,000 times a day. I am constantly on this app looking at what planes are around because we get a lot of military planes around and we think that it's very interesting. And so I'm constantly checking it. So that's what we're talking about right now is I just checked the app to see what was over his house and there's nothing on the radar. So that means that it's a sneaky military plane.
Sneaky. Yeah, interestingly enough, anytime I hear a plane, especially a helicopter, I have to look at it. I will run out of my house and stand on the deck and look into the sky. I don't care really what the app. I'm not really interested in the app. I don't really care what type of plane it is. What is it? What is it?
Now there's a Marine Corps helicopter in your area, so.
All right, if I hear another thing, I'm getting up out of this hot seat, and I'm going to look at it. But yeah, I'm not even like really into aviation at all. I just like to I have this like biological desire to just look at them and say, whoa. And then that's it.
There's a
What is it?
Marine. It's a Marine helicopter at 500 feet right now.
500 feet? That's so low.
Yeah.
Can we cut this episode short? My anxiety's through the roof. I need to see this helicopter. Maybe that's what it was.
Well, it didn't go over your house. It's just near your house.
Okay. All right. Well, keep me updated. Keep me up. All right.
But
Back to the hot seat.
He's probably watching his friend. There's probably he's probably the watcher
guy.
of whatever. Yeah, whatever's around.
Oh God.
All right. Anyway, so
hot
back
seat.
to the hot seat. Okay.
Yeah, we need some intro music for this. For next week,
we do.
I'm putting that on my thing. I'm getting this board running.
Okay.
With some whatever you call that, intro musics.
That's not good.
Nah, no. That's okay. That's better.
All right. Hot seat.
Timing not great. Work on that. You got to work on the timing there, but
okay.
We'll work the kinks out. All right.
Anyway. All right, Sean.
Yes.
We're going to start off sizzling with this question. What's one job you wish you could go back and completely redo, and why?
Oh God. This is a tough one. I feel like there's a lot of them. I feel like there's a lot of.
Come on, answer.
I have to pick one. I have to pick just one.
Just pick one and focus on it. I mean, how many are there?
Well, I think to a certain extent, there's things that as soon as we're done a job, I'm just like, it could have been better. Even if I really love it, there's also another part of me that hates it. You know what I mean? I feel like that's the artist's struggle.
Right.
As soon as the art is completed, you hate it.
Yeah, I get that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do that too.
So I'm just saying all of them. I wish I could redo all of them. Is that a cop-out answer?
A little bit, but okay.
All
right. What is the dumbest mistake you made early in business that still haunts you?
I don't know if it still haunts me. Well, I guess to an extent, it would be not renting equipment or not purchasing equipment sooner. And then in the beginning, not renting equipment because I thought there's not enough money in this job to rent any equipment. And
Sean, these are such boring answers.
What do you mean?
It's supposed to be like, I let the excavator fall into a hole or something. I didn't rent equipment. That's a boring answer.
That's not a boring answer. It was a lot of hard work. And I just thought, oh, okay. Like one of our first really big jobs, I was like, I can't afford to rent a machine for a day. So we're going to move 30 tons of gravel from the driveway all the way to the backyard with shovels and wheelbarrows. And it took like a whole week. It was really, really, really stupid.
All right. That makes it better. That's okay. Very dumb. Thank you for
And now that we have the skid steer, it's like moving pallets around.
Oh, delightful.
Yeah, it's great.
How did we ever do anything other than that?
I know.
All right, what's one construction trend you think is totally overrated right now?
That's a good one. Construction trend that I think is totally overrated. Oh, these aren't hot seat questions because they're tough. These are thinkers. These are thinkers.
Well, we're gonna have like a quick fire, rapid one in a minute.
Okay,
we got to get to that.
Construction trend that's completely overrated. I would just say like mass development houses.
Okay, those are bad.
Okay, yeah, I don't know if that's a great answer, but I wanted to say people's hyperfixation on insulation. I don't know why. I guess maybe because we build stuff outside and we don't have to worry about it really. But like people getting down to like the littlest detail, like your house is going to totally suck if you don't put this sealant around this like tiny little penetration that goes through your sheathing or something. I don't know. It's got, I don't know. Maybe I just want the world to burn and I don't care about the environment. I don't know. People are going a little crazy with the insulation. All right. Next.
If you can pick one celebrity to be your apprentice for a week, who are you picking?
Apprentice? Let me think. I guess it would just be somebody that I really think is cool. I would say, you know what? I would say Landon Dickerson.
Because he does all the DIY stuff with his wife? Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
That's
so I just started following their account. For people that most people probably don't know, he is offensive guard for the Eagles. Giant guy.
Big guy, yeah.
Hunk of human.
Yeah.
Not
he would be so handy to have around.
Not that he's a hunk of a human, but he's like a big guy.
You could say he's a hunk. That's okay. If you think he's a hunk, you can say
he's a hunk. I don't know if I do think he's a hunk, but he's a huge guy, absolutely huge guy, and is really into doing DIY stuff and handy stuff. And him and his wife had an account. And I just think it's cool. It's cool.
That's a good pick.
Thank you.
I like that.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna be honest. AI picked these questions for me, and this next one is really funny. What's one time Catherine was 100% right and you completely ignored her advice?
Oh my god. I hate this. I hate this one. I would say, I can't even think of just one. It's definitely been a lot. Can you think of one? Like, I know you keep score of these things, so
No, I
what do you
don't.
got?
No, I don't.
I guess there's definitely a lot. There's a lot. I can't think of. Give me something that happened recently,
I mean, in this past week, I told you to tone it down with the AI and focus on what matters, but
and
you
it
did it.
worked.
But eventually, I did have to say it pretty forcefully to get you to listen
Yeah,
to me, and it did work. So
yeah. All
maybe
right,
that's
so
one.
that's definitely one. I don't. There's a lot. There's a lot. I hate to admit it. I really hate to admit it, but there's definitely a lot.
Okay, if you had to fire yourself from one past project, which would it be and why?
Oh, this is a good one.
I know my answer. Which one
For
I'd
me
fire
or
you
for
on?
you?
Which one I would fire you on?
All right, why don't you give me that one first?
All right. I don't know how to say
Without.
identifying thing. The farm project. The farm. The
Okay,
when we were
yeah,
on the
that's the
farm.
one. Yeah, yeah. I would
You
fire
just
myself from
kept
that.
saying yes to everything, and we were there for so long. Was they? I think they liked having us there. You liked being there. They just kept adding things on. It got really, really out of hand,
It did,
and
yeah.
it was
It
like
turned
we.
into like a 5-month project. That one was bad. That was definitely bad. That was like a okay, we need to learn some lessons from this one moving forward. And I think we did.
We definitely did.
I think we did. So that's a win there. What else would I fire myself from? I always have like this blank. I can't even remember any projects that we do. Um, it's just like
Out of
what
sight,
projects
out of
do
mind.
I can't remember. Um, I guess I don't know. Maybe just this one. Because I picked out the paver, showed them pictures, but they didn't like it in the end. So maybe because that was a lot of work. But I was initially thinking the same one that you were thinking. It was way too far away. It was
So far
already a
away.
big job.
Yeah.
They started changing stuff like right away as soon as we started, and you're right. My biggest weakness is I'm just too nice of a guy, and I kept saying, yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah.
Why not? Why not?
And you
Why
know
not?
what? That that job was already signed before I started working with you,
Mhm.
and you bamboozled me because you were like, they have a farm and we're going to build the goats a goat bridge, and I was so excited for that to be part of a project, and then it turned into this monster of a project, and we never even built a goat bridge. So I was bamboozled.
I'm sorry.
Life lessons learned.
Yeah. Sean's a liar, don't trust
Shaw's
him.
a liar.
He'll just make stuff up. He knows what you wanna hear, and he'll tell you that.
All right, now
Anyway.
we're going to the quick round. This is
Alright,
rapid fire.
alright.
You got 5 questions. You ready?
Yes.
Trim or framing?
Framing.
Coffee or pre-workout?
Pre-workout.
Inspection day? Final inspection day or first pour day?
First pour day.
Design meetings or demo day?
Demo day.
Satin grade finish work or painting walls with a roller? Rattle can.
Is rattle can an answer? Rolling walls.
Yeah.
If it's just like for one day, rolling walls. If it's like every day, I could never be a painter. I would lose my mind. I would lose my mind. I would
Yeah, I couldn't do
absolutely
that
lose
either.
my mind. That was good. I
All
like the
right,
I
great
like the rapid
job.
fire. Great job. All right. Cool,
Yeah.
cool, cool, cool,
Now we know
cool.
Sean a little bit better.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Sure you didn't even want to, but one of those questions there, the one that I would fire myself on, we talked about all the things that got changed. And do you know what the 3 scariest words are in contracting? The ones that will haunt people in their sleep? The ones that business owners dread? The 3 most deadly words?
What?
While you're here, everybody knows those 3
Yeah.
words. Some people fall victim to them more than others. I used to be one of those people. I still am to an extent.
Yeah. That was just it's a toxic relationship all around.
It really was. It really was. It re it really was. The project turned out great. There was nothing against the people. The people were great, but it was just like they started changing things right away. It was
It was a
crazy.
lot.
And
It was a lot.
I said yes to way too many things. But it opens up the conversation about change orders and the
Mhm.
while you're here conversation and where you draw the line because you want to, on one hand, provide a great customer experience where they're going to feel like, they weren't nickel and dimed, that you went above and beyond, that you really wanted to do the best work possible and give them the best experience possible. And then the other side of that is you start saying yes to these things, it leads to more while you're here kind of stuff. And it can be a slippery slope of just adding a lot of little things that add a lot of time that you're not fairly compensated for. So, I want to just briefly talk about how you find the balance between getting paid and compensated fairly for these things versus feeling like you're nickel and diming those people. So, this current job is a great example of that because we had a lot of upgrades, things that were slight changes. And one of the things that really helped us, because I've gotten a little bit better with this with each project. I think it's one of my weaknesses. I want to say yes, especially if it's something that I think is going to be really cool. I
Yeah.
just want to do it. So it's something that I've worked on, and I think I've gotten a little bit better. And I think that we have really struck that balance with this project. So we just sent them over the bill for all the extras and changes that we made so far, which I think will encompass everything. And a couple different things I think lead to this being a good experience on both ends. Number one, being very specific about what is included in the project and what is not. So making sure that the language in your contract and your proposal is very accurate and detailed so that they know this is included, this is not, and it doesn't leave a lot of gray areas because, especially with this client, they wanted everything priced out as like an all in price. They had started working with another contractor in a design phase maybe a year ago or more. And everything just kept getting more and more expensive as they went through the design phase. So they were like, "Look, this is kind of our hard budget, and we want to know all encompassing. This is what we want to spend." So that's how it started out, and that's how we drew up the contract. Where some stuff will sometimes leave as an extra, certain electrical work because a lot of times they'll want to add stuff or appliances. Sometimes they want to pick those out. So on this project, everything was included, and it was one kind of all in price for everything so that they could really understand the investment that they were making. With that being said, they decided they wanted to add stuff as we got started, little things, changing out some of the appliances for upgrades a couple of times. And that was all well and good because everything was very detailed in the contract. So we could refer back to something and say, yes, you had a fireplace included in this, but it is this fireplace right here, which is like $2,400. This other option is a lot bigger. Instead of a 28-inch kind of square, less modern fireplace, you're going to go with a 5 foot wide, linear, stainless, modern, very cool fireplace. That's gonna be an extra $2,400. We already know which one is specced into the project because it's in the contract. It makes it very clear. So it's like, yeah, a fireplace was included, but you need to be specific about which one is included. And then if they see another thing that they want to upgrade to, they know what they're gonna have to spend to get that. Um, so I think that made it very simple with those things. And then there were a couple add-ons, that some things we kind of decided, you know what, we'll just throw it in. Not that big of a deal. One of the things that we kind of preach is, hey, we're not gonna nickel and dime you, like, we want you to know what you're spending. We're gonna here and there go the extra mile with stuff. So one of the things that they thought would be cool, as we were kind of finalizing the design, we had already, you know, nailed down the price and everything. One of the last things was, "Do you think it would be cool if we did some sort of, like, art cheer with some hanging chairs? Like, do you think we would use those?" And I'm like, "I love the hanging chairs. I just think they're so comfortable. It's a cool visual feature. This is a 2-month project. Yeah, it's a little bit of extra work, but I was like, you know what? We'll throw that in. Don't even worry about it. Not a big deal. Um, Not a whole lot of material. We're gonna be there for a long time. We'll find a place to just kind of throw it in." Um, then it came to changing out the pavers. Changing out the pavers, I'd shown them the colors. They approved those. They decided, and they felt really bad about it. Like, I don't want to say this, but oh, we don't like them. So they were also kind of willing, like, all right, what are we looking at if we decide, yeah, we really do want to change these? That I had to charge for, because we had to get all new material in there. We had to pay for a dumpster to get rid of and recycle the existing pavers that we'd just put down, and that was something that we were compensated fairly for. So I think you have to find a balance, and every job's going to be a lot different. Um I think it's a great thing to add in little things here and there so that they feel taken care of, and feel like you're not nickel and diming them. And then if it's something that's very specifically added on that was not part of the original scope, that is going to be, more of an investment with material or time, then you can charge them for that. And it's I think there's two different ways to look at it, and one is, you know, giving a little bit extra, but having that to say, if they start adding a bunch of stuff and you're like, "Okay, this is, $1,500 extra, that's $2,300 extra," and they're like, "Oh, these costs are getting out of hand a little bit." You can say, "Well, I know, we've added a lot of things, but, we did this arch, we didn't charge you for that. We barely charged for, this upgraded trim that we did on this wall." Like, there's little things that you can kind of call back to and say, "Hey, look, I understand, like, a lot of things are adding up here, but there are some things that we just threw in for free that were
Mhm.
not free for us, you know, that we did as a gesture of goodwill because we want you to have a great experience." So, do you feel like that, did I sum it up there nicely at all, or no?
Yes. I
Why
think
don't why don't
yeah.
why don't you take you can understand what I just said. Why don't can you put it into normal terms for people maybe? I don't know if that.
Yeah, I think it's just
Okay.
I know we always go back to communication, but I think it's ultimately that, and it's a give and a take, and you need to, as long as you're open to communicating with them and saying, like, explaining why you've done things and why you've made certain choices, and I feel like it is kind of, you do kind of lead into that, like, you never want to come off like, well, I did this other thing for free, like, why are you being so annoying about it?
Yeah.
But you do need to, like, kind of put your foot down sometimes where you're like, listen, I understand this is getting costly, but we have made certain, you know, we have made certain financial choices that have, impacted us as well. So we're both making sacrifices here. I think that if you just got to keep the communication line open and make sure that you're able to explain why you've made these choices and why you've done these things, and at the end of the day, the customer's always right, or whatever they always say. So,
That's
it's
weird
about
because the
making the
customer is
client,
usually wrong. No, I'm just kidding.
you gotta make sure that they're happy, but don't overextend yourself in a way that's gonna make you really unhappy.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I've been in that situation before where it's like I have, I get really excited about a certain design or something. I give myself every reason to just do it for a lot cheaper than I should because I'm like, all right, this doesn't fit in their budget, but like, oh, this is what's gonna make the project so cool. All
Yeah.
right, we can squeeze this into the timeline and it's not gonna be that bad. And then like you're giving like so much that they don't even really know about. They don't know that you're like
Yeah.
you have overextended yourself, and then you have like a little bit of like a, whoa, hey, come on, you're getting such a good deal. Like, they don't really know that, and then you're kind of holding it against them, and it can lead to like a contentious situation that you want to avoid. So, the last thing I'll say about it is when these changes are presented, to give them a cost before you dive into it. I think where a lot of people run into trouble is you have all of these changes and you just say, "Yeah, no problem." Like, "Yeah, we'll add it on." And then you present a bill and it's like, "Whoa, I didn't know those 10 changes were going to be 25 grand extra." That's where like, as long as you're making them aware of what the changes are,
Yeah.
I think you're good. So,
Yeah. I'd be curious what kind of feedback we do not itemize our build estimates. We're very much like this is what you're going to get for this price and that's it, and don't ask me what, you know, these 34 2x4s are going to cost you. Like that's, but some
yeah.
people do really itemized um estimates, and I'm curious how they would feel about like I'm sure, if people have that information, they're going to be like counting the 2x4s used on their project. So I'm just curious about how they what?
It's interesting because the client that we're working for right now, they also just had their house resided and there was no sheathing on the house. It was just foam insulation board and then masonite siding over top of that. So when they got the house resided, they wanted to sheathe the house as well. And the proposal from the company was very detailed, and they were charging a certain amount per piece of plywood installed. It was like
Mhm.
$100 a sheet installed. So that's laid out very clearly in the itemized proposal.
Mhm.
So then at the end of the job, the client looks and sees 5 pieces of plywood still in the pile. He's like, "Well, I mean, it's itemized like those weren't installed, so I should get $500 back, right?" And yeah, you should. So it's
Mhm.
like as long as you're kind of like okay with that, like if you're going to itemize it to that degree,
Yeah.
expect things like that, and you should expect things like that because it's like, well, I'm paying per sheet installed, and there's 5 extra sheets here, so like I'm not going to pay for those. So that is a great observation there. But it's a give and a take. It's a give and a take. It's a delicate dance. It's a delicate dance. It's a tango. It's probably more like a salsa because sometimes it can get spicy. You know what I'm saying? That was good,
That's
wasn't it?
good. That's
That
good.
was good, yeah. All right. So anyway, let's get into our final thing here, which I kind of forget what it is, but I think it might just be the Hardworking Happy Hour trivia. Hour trivia. I would say extravaganza. We might be going a little overboard calling this an extravaganza, but it is a trivia segment.
Trivia time.
It's trivia time, and I'm going to get started with the first question here because
Right out
I
the
got a
rip.
good one.
Okay. All right.
So, Catherine Lippincott, true
Yes.
or false? The word drywall is a registered trademark.
Drywall. I feel like I'm going to go with yes because sometimes people call it other things. So I feel like I'm going to go with yes.
It is true, yes.
I got it right. Cool.
The term drywall was part of the original brand name Sackett board created by the U.S. Gypsum Company, USG, which is
Okay.
still very prevalent. In the early 1900s, it became so popular that, like Kleenex or Band-Aid, the brand name became the generic name for the product. Interesting. I didn't know that.
Good for you, drywall.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Ready? For me, your
No,
question.
good job, you. Good job, you. You
Thank
got
you.
that one right, and great job.
True or false? The IRC requires a continuous load path from the roof to the foundation in all new construction, regardless of seismic and wind zone. True or false?
I think it's true. There has to be a load path. It could be like diverted by like a beam that diverts the load elsewhere, but it has to go down to the foundation. So true.
That is true. I think it was
Okay.
supposed to be tricking you as like maybe there's a cantilever somewhere. It has to be like a continuous load path from the roof to the foundation. So correct.
All right. You can't trick me with that kind of stuff.
Ha.
You can't trick me with that kind of stuff. But I see where you tried to. Good try. All right. Next up, multiple choice. The iconic orange color of the Golden Gate Bridge is officially named what? Is it A, Vermilion Rush, B, International Orange, C, Rust-Oleum Red, or D, Golden Gate Glow?
D, Golden Gate Glow.
False! No! I mean, it's not a true or false. I'm sorry. Wrong! Is what I was going for there. The official name is International Orange. And interestingly enough, the color was originally just the sealant primer used on the steel, but the consulting architect Irving Morrow loved how it contrasted with the blue water and green hills, so he lobbied to keep it as the final color. How about that?
What's international about it? That doesn't make any sense. Or
I
is it
don't
like
know.
International, the truck brand? Isn't their color orange?
I don't think so. No, I think those are usually red. Or maybe I'm thinking of Freightliner. Mac is red from the movie Cars. I don't know. Good question.
Interesting. Okay. All
Good
right.
question.
You
Yeah,
have
I don't
asked
know.
questions about that paint before, so
Yeah, we have
You
had a
really-
couple
you really
questions
like
about
it.
that bridge. It's very interesting. All right, what do you got for me?
multiple choice. Which of the following concrete admixtures would be the most appropriate to extend working time in hot weather without significantly reducing strength? All right.
I know we've used some admixtures that were not the right ones and did reduce strength and ruin our concrete countertops. All right, go ahead.
A, a super plasticizer. B, a type F water reducer. C, a retarder. Or D, an air entrancer.
So I will say a.
Do you need me to say the names again?
I don't think so. I think it's a
Okay.
retarder.
That's correct!
Yeah, all
a
right.
retarder. Good job.
Yeah. I told you I'm not.
I just wanted to ask you that to see how many inappropriate jokes you could make.
I don't think that was inappropriate, but that's maybe half. Maybe half. They always said I was that, but I don't think so. I don't think so. Look at me now.
All right.
Look at me
you
now, teachers. I got my own podcast. Anybody can have a podcast, not really.
You just got to buy the equipment.
You just got to buy the equipment, and it's not even that expensive. Oh.
Low barrier to entry. Anyway,
Low
next.
barrier. Okay, last question for you. When you see moisture creeping up from the bottom of a concrete slab or a brick wall, what is the scientific name for this phenomenon where liquid flows in narrow spaces without the assistance of or even in opposition to external forces like gravity?
Shit, I know what this is. Say it again. Read the question again. It's
When
gonna
you
come to me.
see moisture creeping up from the bottom of a concrete slab or a brick wall, what is the scientific name for this phenomenon where liquid flows in narrow spaces without the assistance of or even in opposition to external forces like gravity?
Oh my god, this is so annoying because I know it. I
Yep.
know it.
Don't sound like it. It don't sound like you do.
God. It's like starts with re and ends with shun.
No, that's not it. It's not it.
All right, I can't think of it. What is it? I'm gonna be so annoyed when you say it.
Yeah, I know. It's capillary action.
Yes! Ding it!
Capillary action of
Capillary action.
water. And
You
this is the
jerk.
same principle that allows a paper towel to soak up a spill or helps plants draw water from the soil. The tiny pores in concrete or masonry act like microscopic straws, drawing groundwater upwards against gravity, which is a major source of dampness and mold if not properly managed with vapor barriers. So, interesting stuff.
Well, you won, but I guess I'll ask you this last question anyway.
Let me just really bury you and embarrass you. I hope your parents aren't listening to this.
They'd be so embarrassed.
And let's be real, they're definitely not.
I think my dad might have listened to one episode.
My dad actually, they now I think automatically come on his car when he somehow. So now he's listening to them. Like when his phone syncs up, it just starts playing, and I'm sure he knows how to change it, but he's just enjoying it so much that he just lets it play, isn't it? Yeah.
Hey Vox, if you're listening,
Shout out.
hope you're having a good day.
Yeah.
He's my buddy now that I scared him.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. According to the IRC, what is the maximum horizontal spacing allowed between anchors securing a sill plate to a concrete or masonry foundation wall? Do you understand the question?
Yes.
Okay.
Of course I do. I understand everything. I'm so smart. I don't know. We don't do a lot of this stuff. The maximum, I would say, I wonder if there's different applications for this. I would say it's probably like, ah, I can like kind of picture it's probably every third bay. So that would be every 48 inches. I'm going to say 44 feet, 4 feet, 48 inches.
That's a good guess, and I like the way that you thought through it, but that's incorrect. It's 6 feet.
Okay.
It doesn't matter, you
I
still
wouldn't
won.
trust that. I would do 4. I would do 4. That's just me personally. I would do 4. But 6 feet, okay. Hey, I still won. And
You won. Congratulations.
thank you so much.
Really
I do
proud of you.
appreciate that.
We are still tied because I won last week.
Really? None of this even is real anymore. We're living in a simulation. We can't have done like 100 rounds of this and be tied. It's just impossible. It's not possible. So anyway,
Ties.
uh, yeah. And I'm supposed to trust you to keep track of this?
Ties. Well, you haven't tried, so.
Well, yeah, because I know that I can't do it. I understand my limitations. So anyway, wrapping up here for the week, some really great progress has been made. And I feel like it just goes to show you it really feels like this is something, it's a big change, I think, that we implemented over the last 2 weeks.
A
And
lot of movement.
it's like it just goes to show you, you set your mind to constant improvement and you can knock these things out. Like it seems overwhelming to somebody like me, but I was a very integral part of coming up with all this stuff and executing on it. So you got to have your idea guy and the what do they say? It's you got the innovator and the implementer.
You got the thinker and you got the doer.
I'm a thinking man. I certainly am. So, Catherine, great job on those things. Really, really top notch, excellent work. We're lucky to have you around here. Definitely appreciate it. And like I said, it goes to show you put your mind to constant improvement and moving the ball forward a little bit. And here we are, making moves, making magic,
Making magic, making moves.
memories for our clients. So anyway, that's it for this week. If you enjoyed it, please give us a review. Catherine just told us that we actually have a pretty good amount of reviews, more than I thought. So I appreciate anyone that has. And write us a little note. You can write a little note on there. Say,
A little love
I
letter.
really like it. I really like it. So
Or just say hi to us. Any of it's fine.
yeah, somebody say hi. Let me know that I'm here. Anyway, till next time, this has been the Hardworking Happy Hour.
See you next week.